You want to cook a steak? Well, what do you want? You want it to be tender and juicy and full of beef flavor. Well, you can't beat a ribeye for the job, and it comes from the cow just on the top part of the rib right behind the shoulder. Now, I like to think of it as a miniature prime rib. It's that good. But Christie's here. She's going to show us how to gussy it up a bit.
Right. We're going to come up with a really great spice blend that's going to stay on the steaks and it's not going to burn when we cook them.
Great.
So these are two 1-pound boneless ribeye steaks. They're 1.5 inches thick, and that's really important so that they'll cook evenly. There's a lot of fat going through the ribeye, and that's great, and you'll see the pockets of fat inside. We don't have to worry about those. It's fat that's on the outside. These are very nicely trimmed already.
Beautiful.
You just want to make sure there's not more than about 1/8 of an inch of fat along the outside of the steak. So we can go right to the spice blend.
Good.
Now, we wanted to grind our own pepper, but we found if we used a pepper mill, it often ended up too fine, and it would burn. So we're going to crush our own. I have a Ziploc bag, 1 tablespoon of peppercorns. Now here's the fun part. I'm just gonna rock and roll.
Nice.
So we just wanna have a nice, coarse grind.
You're just cracking them open, really.
What we really wanted was a good all-purpose spice blend. So I have 2 tablespoons of chopped rosemary.
That's fresh.
Fresh, yes. Then I also have 2 teaspoons of grated lemon zest. 2 teaspoons of ground coriander.
Okay.
So this was one of the warm spices that we used. And 1.5 teaspoons of dry mustard. And we have to have a tablespoon of kosher salt. We didn't salt the steaks.
Right.
And then the last thing is dried red pepper flakes. It's 1 teaspoon. So we'll just mix this all up. So we have the blend. Now normally, after we've trimmed the steaks, the first thing we'd do would be pat them dry. But we found that if we just let them be, that their surface moisture became a really great adhesive to keep the spice blend on the steaks.
Okay,
yes.
We're making it work for us.
So I'm just going to rub this all over the steaks, and I'm using all of this.
That is great.
So I'm gonna get messy here. I think we've adhered as much as we're going to adhere.
Very well done.
Thank you. I'm just going to clean up, and then we'll come back and we'll cook them.
Great.
So Bridget, I've added a tablespoon of vegetable oil to the 12-inch nonstick skillet, and I've been heating it over medium heat. Now we're looking for it to be just smoking before we add the steaks. So I'm using a fork instead of tongs because it does less damage to the spice coating. I'm going to cook these for 10 to 13 minutes, but the key to getting a nicely toasted outside is to keep flipping them. So I'm actually going to flip the steaks every 2 minutes.
And you're building a crust during that?
Yes. Okay, we're just at 2 minutes. I think we can flip.
Yeah, seeing some color there already.
And notice, very little spice left behind in the pan.
Oh, gorgeous.
And we're cooking these to medium rare. So we'll cook these until they're 125 degrees. We have flipped over the course of 10 minutes. Now it's time to check.
They look gorgeous.
So we're just gonna temp this along the side of the steak. And again, we were looking for about 125 for medium rare. And I think we're, we're
Great.
good.
Great.
All right. So now I'll transfer these to a rimmed baking sheet where I put a wire rack in it because we have this nice crispy crust. If I put this on a plate, it would kind of start to steam and sog out.
Right.
We don't want that. We have to let these rest for 5 minutes. So I am going to just tent them with foil.
Right.
So they stay warm, but they don't steam.
Right, so you don't want to wrap it too tight.
No. So 5 minutes. It's been 5 painful minutes.
You said it.
I'm just judging by the look on your face.
Yes, yes, painful.
So it is time to slice, but we needed that time so that the juices would redistribute so we don't have cutting board juices. So now we're just gonna cut these between 1/4 and 1/2 of it. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
Sorry, I just can't even talk.
Between 1/4 and 1/2 oh my goodness. All right, first piece. Gorgeous. Mmm.
It's like the lemon kind of hits you first.
There's so much going on in the spice blend that I'm catching. That lemon is really coming through. And just enough of that warm spice.
The ratio of spice to steak is so nice.
Absolutely perfection.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, if you want to make these beautiful steaks, and you do, you need to start off with 1.5-inch thick ribeyes and then coat them with a mixture of cracked black peppercorns, grated lemon zest, fresh rosemary, warm spices, and of course, salt. And then cook in a non-stick skillet, flipping over every 2 minutes until the steaks are medium rare. Tint them under foil for just 5 minutes, slice and serve. So from cook's country to your kitchen, what I would call the ultimate spice-crusted steak, these steaks. Make them today. Thanks for watching Cook's Country from America's Test Kitchen. So what'd you think?
Leave a comment and let us know which recipes you're excited to make, or just say hi.
Now you can find links to today's recipes and reviews in the video description.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you later.
Alligator.